Have you ever struggled at work, struggled to get recognized or noticed? Then, when performance reviews came around, your worst fears were realized. You received little to no pay increase, little to no reward. Let's solve that on today's show. The key to recognition, consistently showing up. I was an engineer and in 2008 lost my job due to the economic collapse. Jobs were scarce. I didn't know where to turn to get help updating my resume. Online services and coaches charge hundreds, even thousands of dollars. I took matters into my own hands and learned how to craft interview-winning resumes. Shortly later, I landed a job with a Fortune 500 company. I have helped many achieve similar success. Now I share my tips to create interview-winning resumes, interviewing excellence, and high-performance growth strategies on my podcast, Career Growth Made Easy. Hey there, welcome back. It's Career Coach Craig. You're listening to the Career Growth Made Easy podcast, where I help people find their first jobs all the way up to their first promotions and everything in between. Today's show, the key to recognition, consistently showing up. Have you ever struggled at work, struggled to get recognized or noticed? Then, performance reviews, they came around and you were kind of excited, but at the same time, fear kind of walked in on you and you realized you didn't receive a pay increase or you got little to no reward. We're going to talk about that in detail today in today's show to help you overcome that. It's not going to be a miracle cure, no, because there's no quick fixes out there. However, I think you'll be able to understand where I'm coming from with a few quick analogies. Perhaps you follow some sports teams out there. Maybe, you're interested in your hometown team. Perhaps you're into some type of racing. And what does this have to do with anything with regards to the key to recognition, getting more money at work, being recognized? Well, there's a great correlation. Bear with me. So if you follow your hometown team, sometimes you have a belief they're going to be winners, right? You grew up with them or your parents always followed a certain sports team, racing team, or some other type of team. But what happens when a team doesn't perform to your expectations? I paused intentionally. Think about it, for real. What happens when your team doesn't perform to expectations? Or maybe you don't follow a particular team right now. What of the other people that have? What have you noticed? What have you seen? What emotions have you recognized? Eventually followers, once fans, get worn down. Not all these fans, not all these followers leave, but certainly many do if your team or their team doesn't perform to expectations. Think about it. I can't wait to go watch my team lose again. Oh, I hope this week my favorite quarterback gets sacked again. Oh, maybe he'll throw 2 or 3 interceptions. That sounds kind of stupid, right? Well, that's kind of what we're talking about here. How about racing? Racing of any kind, whether it's vehicles, horses, dogs, whatever you're interested in. We're typically interested in those that are in the pole position, the sweet spot. Somehow, through trial and error, through hard work, they've earned the position to be in that number 1 slot. They've earned the chance to start first, and here's the trick, and hopefully finish first, right? So not only do they work hard to get up to the front of the line, but now they have dreams, ambitions, goals, desires that they're going to be able to finish first, or at least in the top 5 maybe, right? Top 3. If they kept up their track record, well, when they grow, they get recognized. They might get promoted, and fans not only continue to follow them, but they also share the good news, share that they're excited about their team, their teammate, their leader, their captain. And here it is. That sharing, that energy, that belief attracts other fans. So now, can you think back to a specific team, an event, something you watched that you're excited? It could be a sports team, could be racing, could be any other kind of event. How about if you have family at home, children at home, or nieces, nephews, and they've done something. They put on a play. They were in a show. Something exciting happened. There was a cheer of applause. You know what it's like to celebrate someone. And I think deep down inside, that's where you and I want to be. We want to be celebrated in our personal lives and our professional. Now, personally, it might be easier when we build a loving, caring network around us, right? People that support us. But at work, it can be more difficult, especially when we're in the early stages of finding our first job, working through a couple jobs, possibly working towards a pay increase, even a promotion, dare I say. Sure, there's more responsibility with that, but we don't have to talk about that today. We just have to talk about holding down your job and performing better so that you get recognized. That's the key we're talking about today. Now, why did I talk about those sports analogies, racing and such things? Well, it's because if your team, your captain, whoever it is, your coach leads them, and they show up consistently, you're likely to follow them. So switching gears to you and your job situation. Why would someone want to recognize you? It's as simple as this. Because you show up consistently. Now, showing up consistently, to be clear, does not mean punching in or swiping your time card on time, taking your breaks exactly on time, down to the minute or down to the second, and it doesn't mean punching out exactly on time. Showing up consistently is about your performance, your energy, your attitude, your behavior. I know that's a lot to take on, but if we break it down, who would you want to work with? Who do you like working with? Or even if you're still in a certain school system, who do you like being around? Who do you dislike being around? I'm sure there's certain friends, students that you like. Same thing with teachers. Why are you drawn to certain people, whether they're adults or fellow students? And why are you kind of pushed away? Or, let's see, it might be a little harsh, but you even avoid certain people. You start to think about it, that's human nature, right? We like to be attracted to people, follow people that we're similar to. And sometimes if there's a little bit of a contrast, a little bit of a challenge, we might like that also. But if it's polar opposites, typically that doesn't work out well. It's like, fire and ice, water and oil, they don't mix. So what do you deal with? Well, you look out and say, how can I perform consistently at work? Have I received any performance reviews despite not getting any pay increase or a very little one, a marginal one, just a few cents? Believe me, I've coached dozens, probably hundreds at this time, and this isn't the first time I've heard this, getting pay raises less than 10 cents an hour, or getting pay raises when you have a slightly higher paying job, less than 50 cents or $1 an hour. It's a pay increase, you bet. But it doesn't move the needle at all for you. You barely even see it in your paycheck, and that's where it hurts. You and I might feel that we're giving our all, giving our best to our companies, to our roles, to our positions. You thought you understood what your job responsibilities were. You thought you were giving your all. And it turns out the company didn't see it that way. So, starting with one of our tips, you can perform to the best of your abilities, but if it's not in the interests or of the goals of the company, then you're not going to get recognized. Also, when you perform, how do you do it? Do you just get it done, check mark, or do you get it done, check mark plus? The difference being how you show up, with what energy, with what appearance, what look on your face, what does your body say? You might be using the right words to get your job done if you're in some type of customer service or technical position, using words to solve problems. But there's a mundane way to say it. Okay, guys, look, we're in the office today. We're out in the field. We're doing this thing, and we really, really need to get customers so that we get paid, okay? Look, you've already tuned out. I might even have lost you as a listener, but give me a chance. Hey guys, it's Monday. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend. Looking forward to a supercharged week. Let's go out there. Let's get new customers. How are we going to do that? By telling them about our services, our quality, our guarantees. We don't want to worry about hooking them. What we want to worry about is sharing value and things that they need, and it will automatically draw them into us. You see the difference, the passion there, right? And that's where sometimes in our jobs, no, it's not exciting to come out of high school, college, wherever you're at in your life. Maybe you're a graduate right now. You just finished up school and you're looking for your first job or your next job. Yeah, it's really great to get up at 6 or 7 in the morning and repeat and rinse for 5 days a week. But you know what? We're in the big leagues now. So you can choose to do it in a mundane, droning on and on way. When your feet hit the ground in the morning, you're kind of frustrated and almost depressed, upset about looking for a job or going to work, whatever the case is. Or you can support it, saying, I've got to go to work. I'm choosing to go to work. I need to make some money. While I'm doing it, I might as well give the best I can because I can then have the greatest opportunity to consistently show up and eventually receive recognition. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't want to go in every day looking for that recognition because that kind of smells. People can smell that desperation, that pride, that push, that aggressiveness. They can smell that a mile away. It's not that you're not performing. It's that you're looking for that recognition too quickly. So rather, go in, give it your all. Try to keep that smile up. Try to keep that positive image. And if you're able to, stand tall. Walk proudly, confidently, smile. Think of what others might want to see in you or see in themselves and exhibit that. All that said, that's just your mannerisms and how you show up. After you've got that nailed, the how, then it's time to consistently show up with your performance. Now, you might say, Coach Craig, I've been doing that and I'm still not getting the pay raises I want. Or I actually was told that I'm performing poorly. I'm one of the bottom performers. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you, though, get constructive feedback? There's negative feedback where you get told all the things you're doing wrong, all the things that you shouldn't be doing. But then there should be positive feedback, what you are doing right, the things that you're on the right track for. With that said, that gives you an idea. Stay towards the positives, try to avoid the negatives. But how do you do that? The third piece, constructive feedback. Find out what your leader, your manager, your team supervisor, whoever it is you work for or work with, what they're specifically looking for. What is that specific person looking for in your role, in your performance? And maybe they could identify you don't have to tell me who it is, but identify what do you see in a top performer. And they might mention a name. Instead of it's Craig, it's Bob, it's Joe, it's Sally. That's fine. But then that kind of can give us an attitude where we then envision that person's names. Why are they doing so good and I'm not? So we don't want to be cynical. The name's not important. It's what tasks do you see being done? How do you see these tasks being done that can help me consistently show up and do more for the company? And then if that's not enough for you, if you're still hungry, and you're like, I want some bonus tips, Coach Craig, you got it. Beyond talking about your immediate group, your team, your cubicle mates, your office mates, your field mates, wherever you work, right? Your colleagues, work colleagues, your immediate individual contributors, the people around you, surrounding you. That's a lot of words. Whoa. Beyond that, your company, no matter how small or how large, from just a couple people, maybe entrepreneurship that hired you part-time just to see if you'll fit in, all the way up to the largest companies, Fortune 500, Global 500 companies. Every one of these should have some type of goal, some kind of vision, mission statement. Now, granted, with the smaller companies, they may not know exactly what those things are yet if they're just starting to put things together, but you can ask them, what was your dream when you started this company? What do you hope to achieve? And most people are going to want to talk about that hands down, even if it's just a few-minute conversation. And if you truly listen to learn, listen to understand, rather than respond, you will hear the key things that drive them to success, why they started the business, why they invested the money in themselves and their products and services, and why you're there. If you start to focus on the things that are important to your company and to your direct supervision, it will absolutely change the needle, and that will be your key to recognition. Then remember, in closing, consistently show up. You're allowed a few bad days, like a winning team that has a loss or two, but try not to have too many losses or too many late starts and too many late finishes. It doesn't work out in the end, month over month, year after year. Try to have strong day after day, week after week, season after season. And if you have a setback, that's cool. Get over it, shrug it off, but learn from your mistakes and improve. I hope today's show, The Key to Recognition, consistently showing up, and by the way, that was episode 206, helped you out. Make sure you stay tuned because we have a lot of great ideas coming up to help you quickly implement and improve your situation. From first-time jobs to first promotions and everything in between, we uncover all the hurdles and provide quick implementation solutions for you. Have a wonderful week ahead. God bless. I'm Career Coach Craig for Career Growth Made Easy. See ya. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel. New episodes every Monday. In the meantime, why don't you follow us on social media at Craig Ansell on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To book a coaching appointment, download our free guides, or join our email list, check out the links in the description below.